Welcome, wrestling fans. Welcome to Curtain Jerkin. As always, I'm your host, Jacob Grondy, reporting for the Main Event Marks YouTube channel and the Dragon Suplex Podcasting Network. This was not a big week in pro wrestling, I'll say that. Right now, as I'm talking, there's a New Japan show that's going to be pretty big. We're going to be talking about that on Tuesday. We're going to be talking about UFC on Tuesday. We're going to be talking about Noah on Tuesday. And I didn't even have it written down, but I'll talk about it. Michael Elgin signs to Noah, the controversial figure himself. Michael Elgin, formerly of Ring of Honor, formerly of New Japan, pretty much got canceled through remarks he made toward a number of subjects that I don't want to dive into. But very good professional wrestler, but very controversial figure. He had, struggled for years. I remember he brought Naito over to the United States, and promoters were saying, look, Michael Elgin is on this show, but it's only to bring Naito in. They were openly saying that online. That's not, that's got to not feel good. But speaking of canceled, Drake Wuertz runs for office in Florida. This guy went from CZW champion to WWE referee to QAnon supporter to fired from WWE because of his controversial takes. Now is running for Senate in the state of Florida. Holy hell. I mean, not saying that these guys are QAnon supporters by any means, but, it worked for Kane. It didn't work for Rhino. And I would put Drake Wuertz way under Rhino in clout you get politically for being involved in pro wrestling. So I don't know if this will work for him. He's since said that he's not under the QAnon belief, I guess you would say, anymore. He's running under the Republican ticket. And if anyone has any hot takes on this, let me know in the comments. Or if anyone knows anything more about this, if you live in the area where he's running, what do these ads look like? What is he doing to campaign? I'm highly interested in this. I don't know if we're going to be following this. I might lose interest, but right now this has been cracking me up all morning long. Logan Paul challenges Paddy Pimblett. Logan wants to fight him to an MMA fight. He claims that he's that this guy Paddy is the next Conor McGregor. And he's also said that he's never been in an MMA fight, which we all know. But then he thinks he can beat him still, which is what? So this one guy is said to be an up and comer in this sport. You've never competed in this sport, but you've never beat him. Hilarious statement. Heel shit. And then WWE wants to make him face. I think him and his brother, I've said this plenty of times, are the two best heels in the business. So WWE, wake up. No one is going to boo The Miz over him, which is kind of funny because The Miz started out as a reality show, guy who would never make it in the wrestling, and now he's the respected wrestler taking down the YouTube star. It's kind of like video killed the radio star, but WWE is trying to have the radio star be the video star. I don't really know how it works, but I think they should switch it up. Maybe come SummerSlam, have Logan Paul be the heel here. AEW will be on New Japan World, but only in Japan. So if you're like me and you have New Japan World on streaming service to watch New Japan, it won't be available for us, but that's not a big deal. I do think it's worthy of noting because it is going to strengthen the relationship between AEW and New Japan Pro Wrestling even more so than it already is. But this is going to be a very AEW themed heavy show right now. Pretty much only going to be talking about AEW. I kind of had a bit of a wrestling hangover. I only watched Dynamite and Rampage. I only watched 2 wrestling shows since Tuesday, guys. Can you believe that? That's crazy. I usually watch something every day. But Adam Page challenges Adam Cole to a Texas Death Match. This match needs to be good. Just like I've kind of hammered home here, this is the most important AEW title reign in the history of AEW. The Danielson matches were great, but those were months and months ago. Danielson seems light years away from those matches where Adam Page seems like he's still stuck in the past. I mean, the match that he had with Adam Cole at the pay-per-view was riddled with the crowd trying to get themselves over and was kind of lost in the shuffle of how good all the other matches on the undercard were. So for this feud and for this title reign, this match needs to be excellent. Texas Death Match. I think Texas was where Adam Page even wrestled Danielson to begin with. So the Texas crowd loves the Cowboy and probably loves this Cowboy after the amazing show that he's put on for them in the past. We also had Ring of Honor, Supercard of Honor highlights on Dynamite. That was cool to see. Suzuki versus Joe next week. Holy shit. That's going to be cool. I wonder if Suzuki's going to drop the ROH TV title to Joe. That kind of seems super lame. Joe is a ROH World Champion. Joe is, coming off of, a big WWE run. To put like a mid-card title on a company that was just bought out is just kind of not where I would go with Joe, but we're going to have to see what happens there. I like that Mox versus Yuta match. They mentioned that it was under pure rules, but I didn't like how they didn't utilize any of the circumstances and suspense that you can use in a pure rules match. I hope that's not things that come with Tony Khan's Ring of Honor. Remember what made Ring of Honor special, and these pure rules and the handshakes and everything like that kind of helped make it special. We'll have to see where it goes. We're going to also have to see where Best Friends goes with Wheeler Yuta. This little segment they did on Dynamite was awesome, going into the match on Rampage as well. Chuck telling Yuta, we love you, and then Trent kind of cuts him off and says, I don't love you, I think you're a scumbag and a traitor, just right off the bat. Pretty funny. Yuta ends up pushing Trent ends up pushing Yuta. Yuta kind of pushes Trent. Chuck holds Yuta back, and that pisses off Yuta, and Yuta kind of stumbles off. A lot of nuance here. It was done really well. Usually some of these backstage segments kind of get lost. You're like, why is someone mad at somebody? But these are done very well. They kind of remind me of the Being the Elite stuff, and kind of all the nuanced stuff they were doing in Ring of Honor in like 2018 with Cody Rhodes and Kota Ibushi and Kenny Omega and the Bucks and everything like that. So I wouldn't be surprised if they weren't behind some of this stuff here. The Bucks, that is. Eddie Kingston, Santana, and Ortiz chase away Jericho Appreciation Society. Kingston even launches a television at Jericho Appreciation Society. That's all we really saw of them this whole week. And then they come out and cut a great promo. All three of them individually cut great promos within one promo segment. I thought that was good. Swerve went to the Grammys the same day as WrestleMania. That's just cool. I mean, even if you don't like Swerve, that's a way to flex on your old job. Anyone who's left a job that they didn't like to pursue something else has to love this story. WrestleMania happening. He was at WrestleMania weekend, but on that Sunday night, WrestleMania Sunday, he was at the Grammys, which of course he is, a rapper, a producer, and stuff like that we saw with Hit Row. So, legitimate star here at the Grammys because he's supposed to be at the Grammys. He didn't buy a ticket or anything like that. That was pretty cool, I thought. Going on to Rampage, I thought Rampage was amazing. Great matches, 2 great matches, and then 2 okay matches. The new interviewer talking to Hook, looking forward to seeing more of her. Men of the Year promo battle with Garcia and Ty. This needs to go somewhere. It's been months since they beat up Ty Conti. Since then, they've kind of just been getting the better of Lambert and kind of making fun of Men of the Year a little too much here. Like, we need to see the heels kind of get their heat back a little bit. Jericho Sports Entertainer of the Week being QT Marshall. Love QT. Love this humorous award given out. I want to see it given out more and more. I want to see people appreciate this award when it's given to them. It's a good way to keep Jericho on the show without having Jericho on the show. A little too much Jericho, I guess, the past few weeks. Here he really wasn't on this, week at all, other than running away, and neither was CM Punk. So 2 big stars left out, but really good wrestling because of it. Mark Sterling trying to bring Tony Nese into his stable. I like that a lot. I'm pretty sure these guys trained under the same school initially, along with Matt Cardona and oh man, I'm blanking on it. John Silver, lots of other names here. Mixing with that school, I think it's in Long Island. So it's kind of cool that, they've reached this level of success. They've come full circle in their career, and now they're going to team up, I think. But jumping on to the matches of AEW television this week, from worst to first, we got 10 big matches. Number 10, Samoa Joe versus Max Caster. And of course, like many weeks, it's listed at number 10 because Joe just whooped his ass. This was an Owen Hart tournament match. Caster rap was good, bringing up the X division. I thought that was good. Strikes, dives, muscle buster, 1, 2, 3. Samoa Joe gets the victory. Isaiah Swerve Scott, or Swerve Strickland, whatever they call him, versus QT Marshall. QT cannot hit the diamond cutter. Whose house? Swerve's house. 1, 2, 3. Spears versus Dean. MJF comes out. Spears does this really cool neck breaker move where he drops Sean Dean on his knee. Battle of the Seans here, Sean Spears and Sean Dean. But for that reason alone, that's why I rank it above those other two matches. Was that really cool move. Wardlow comes out, shows up. Boston comes unglued with Wardlow. They're doing the Goldberg treatment. Wardlow. And then when he comes out, huge pop. Beats the shit out of all these security guys. But then in the ring, roll up Sean Dean, 1, 2, 3. He gets the victory. MJF pissed. He challenges Sean Dean to a rematch. And I think that's going to happen next week. So we got Suzuki, Joe. We've got Hangman Cole. And we've got MJF and Sean Dean loaded card here in Texas next week. Red Velvet versus Willow. One woman wearing red, one woman wearing black. But lots of green in this match. Willow goes for a moonsault and misses pretty bad. Kind of misses, kind of lands on Velvet's face. The announcers try to cover it up. This was bad. I mean, even after Supercard of Honor, where she does the same kind of thing and lands on Martinez's face here, she kind of lands on Red Velvet's face. But unlike Martinez, Velvet is not good enough yet to kind of cover it up, so it just looks awkward. But they did have an okay back and forth, I guess. This, looking back, this should have been ranked last, but I put it at number 7 for some reason. Backstabber from Velvet, 1, 2, 3. Red Velvet gets the victory. Shida versus Julia Hart. Shida kind of gets lost in the shuffle a bit here, but she's a pretty good wrestler, especially for this women's division. Julia Hart attacks her before the bell. Varsity Blondes appalled by this. Julia Hart pissed. She gets the ref to send the Blondes to the back. I had never seen this before, except for Ring of Honor Supercard of Honor when Bandito sent Chavo Guerrero to the back during the world title match. Of course, both booked by Tony Khan. I guess this is a new staple of Tony Khan's booking, where the person in the ring gets mad enough to have the manager send their own, have their own manager get sent to the back. Moving on to the match, Julia, loses. Falconera, Hikaru Shida wins 1, 2, 3. Number 5 out of 10. This is another kind of clusterfuck here. Hardys versus Butcher and the Blade. I had a hard time figuring out the rules here. People were going through tables, not getting kicked out. It needed to be an offensive maneuver going through the tables. Not an attempt at an offensive maneuver, or not a defensive maneuver, or who the hell knows what was going on here. The Hardys didn't know what was going on, and they were in the first ever ladder match ever with the Dudleys in 2000. So if they don't know what's going on, there needs to be something figured out. Hardy Boys did get the victory, even though they seem to be clueless on what to do and how to win. But these next 4 matches are kind of way above those other matches. It's like the bottom 6 here are a certain degree of awesome, and these top 4 are an even, much larger degree of awesome. Cole versus Cage kicked off the show on Dynamite. You got former NWA champion, former SmackDown World Champion versus former NXT champion, former ROH champion here. Legends of the business wrestling on the opening contest. Tilt-A-Whirl DDT from Cage. 1, 2, no one home. Christian jumps off for a headbutt, no one home. Big knee, but knee pad stayed on. Then later on in the match, Adam Cole takes the knee pad off. Boom. 1, 2, 3. Adam Cole gets the victory here, heating him up for another Hangman match. And then number 3, this match was awesome. Trent Beretta versus Danielson. Trent of Best Friends gets his hands on the Blackpool Combat Club. Danielson dives. Beretta catches him into a Northern Lights. Trent then goes for a spear. Bryan moves. Trent ends up landing face first into the steps. Superplex by Trent. Deadlift German by Trent. Bridging suplex from Danielson, but can't lock in the Dragon Sleeper. Half and half. And a lariat. 1-2. Danielson kicks out. Gotch style pile driver. Huge stomps from Danielson. Locks in a hold that even Excalibur didn't know the name of. So I don't feel bad not knowing the name of, but Danielson still gets the victory. That match was amazing. Usually that match would be the best match of the week, but there was 2 amazing matches, 2 exceptional matches beyond that. Number 2, Mox versus Yuta. Yuta attacks Moxley before the bell, which is interesting. Mox uses the steps, and Yuta just is busted open. Crimson Mask. Yuta jumps, lands on Mox. Moxley falls through a table. So many table spots here for this Boston crowd. This didn't really, get the reaction it usually gets. Yuta wipes his own blood on his chest. Boston roars in approval. Stomps from Yuta. Yuta doing the Danielson stomps. Frog splash. Crossface from Yuta. Paradigm shift from Mox. 1-2. Yuta kicks out. Mox pissed at the ref. The ref didn't do anything, man. It was Yuta's fault. Yuta's the one with all the heart, not the referee, man. Don't get mad at the ref. Bulldog choke. Knee strikes by Moxley. Paradigm shift. 1-2. Yuta kicks out. Mox chokes him out for the win. Danielson and Regal come out, hesitate a little bit. Yuta sitting there just a bloody mess. Danielson not trying to get close to him. He's got his white tee on, but then Regal shakes his hand. This was a great way to end the week of AEW television. Where does Yuta stand? Is he still with Best Friends, his trainers? Or is he going to try to get a little extended training from some legends? He was on Busted Open Radio talking about how he used to watch Danielson matches and Danielson tapes from back in the day. So this is really cool from, a personal level where, he's in the ring with guys that he idolized growing up, and I think legitimately getting their respect, and also in storyline getting their respect, and headlining a show that, is on TNT. But it still wasn't the best match of the week. Number 1, FTR versus the Young Bucks. Crowd chanting FTR after the Briscoes match. The FTR had 2, what I would consider 2 5-star matches in the same week. One on Ring of Honor, Supercard of Honor at WrestleMania weekend, and one live on TBS AEW Dynamite. Bobby Cruise introducing the match. You gotta love it. It's a Ring of Honor tag team title match. FTR double sharpshooter. Bucks pull out a fake tag behind the ref's back like a bunch of assholes. Cash tries the tag Dax in. He needs the tag. Nick super kicks Dax to stop it. Powerplex cut off by Hurricane Rana from Nick Jackson. Low blow behind the ref's back again. The Young Bucks are just assholes. More bang for your buck. 1-2. Cash kicks out. Nick hits I think the more bang for your buck was... Yeah, that was hit. Sorry, guys, I'm getting a little lost in my notes here. Nick hits Cash with the title. Knox had to have seen this. If we're being nitpicky here, Knox had to have seen this. BT trigger from Cash to Cash. 1-2. He kicks out. Slingshot, powerbomb, and tombstone combination, or not combination, done at the same damn time. BT trigger from FTR. Big rig. 1-2-3. FTR gets the victory here, beating the Young Bucks. They're the AAA tag champs. They're the Ring of Honor tag champs. Jurassic Express, who? I mean, it's just ridiculous to have your title on a man dressed up as a dinosaur when you have these 2 legitimate champions going all around the world having 5-star matches. I don't think anyone that is listening to the show right now thinks Jurassic Express is legitimately the best tag team on the roster. So they need to do something here because FTR, they're faces, and they're the most over faces, and you have face champions. So get the titles maybe on Red Dragon, and then have FTR versus Red Dragon. But unlike Adam Page's title reign, where it's really important to solidify AEW with a single star that you made through AEW, you've made a bunch of stars through the tag division. I mean, Scorpio Sky and oh man, I'm blanking on his name. Kazarian were the first champions, and Scorpio Sky really got his first shot, I would say, on national television through Ring of Honor. And then you've had, the Lucha Brothers, who, yes, they were on Lucha Underground and whatnot, maybe Impact to a certain extent, but they got their big shot through AEW. They weren't on WWE is what I'm saying. So the tag division is a little different than the world title division. So I think Jurassic Express dropped the titles to Red Dragon, because Red Dragon, they're an amazing tag team. And then you can have Red Dragon versus FTR, and maybe put the titles on FTR. I know you just did the Kenny Omega, everyone, he takes everyone's titles gimmick, but I mean, they're super over right now, and it's not to be ignored. My appreciation for you guys is not to be ignored. Thank you for listening. I appreciate it every single week, multiple times a week. Thank you to my lovely girlfriend Jamie for always listening to this show and, kind of having to be quiet while I'm recording this show. Fly high. I'm out.